I held a large bouquet of roses, standing at the entrance of the KTV, taking a deep breath. This was my 7th time preparing to confess to Ethan. Today was his birthday, and he was standing in the center of the room, enjoying the attention of everyone around him. Summoning all my courage, I pushed open the door to the private room. As soon as Ethan saw me come in, he parted the crowd and pulled me into his arms, resting his head on my shoulder, lazy and content. Look at you all, not as considerate as Jenna. That's what really makes my heart ache. He was drunk, his face flushed red. Seeing the atmosphere was just right, I tucked the flower into his chest and said, Ethan, I like you. Will you be my boyfriend? The lively atmosphere suddenly quieted down. Only the love song on the screen kept singing to itself, and a flash of clarity passed through Ethan's eyes for a moment, but soon he returned to his usual drunken, carefree look. Who did you lose a dare to this time? Stop joking, or people might take it seriously. He rubbed my head, teasing me like a little kitten. Aren't we best friends? Stop making jokes like that. That sentence blocked all my words, stuck in my throat like a fishbone. Others quickly gathered around, urging him to sing another song. Ethan casually threw the flowers into a corner, just like I was left all alone on the side. The more vibrant the flowers, the more like a fool I felt. Ethan held the microphone, singing a love song with deep emotion, his gaze falling on the face of a strange girl sitting on the sofa not far away. The girl smiled shyly, and my heart sank halfway. I gave a sarcastic smile. He often looked at me with that same expression. Later I realized it was simply because he had a pair of peach blossom eyes. He looked at dogs with affection, let alone me. Forget it, I'll just take all of this as my own wishful thinking. I picked up the rose and threw it straight into the trash can. This time Ethan finally looked at me. But he didn't know, I was already ready to leave him. Ethan squinted. Jenna, we've been friends for so many years, do you have to make a scene on my birthday? A friend, doesn't he feel guilty saying that? If it weren't for him constantly being ambiguous with me, always doing things that go beyond friendship or even flirtation, kissing me and hugging me in front of everyone, could I have misunderstood the relationship between us? I always thought that our feelings were mutual, and that he just couldn't settle down for the time being. But now I realize it was all just my one-sided wishful thinking. At 28 years old, it's really laughable. Exactly, Jenna, Ethan is just trying to have a good birthday, and here you are singing and dancing, making such a scene. Alright, stop it. Jenna, raise a glass to Ethan. Let's just put this behind us and not ruin a friendship that's lasted so many years. I pushed away the drink my friend handed me, staring unblinkingly at Ethan. Ethan, I'm asking you one last time, what do you really mean to me? Ethan laughed as he sat down on the sofa, pulling the girl who had been listening to the love song earlier close, his gaze completely unflinching. That's exactly what you saw. I held back wave after wave of pain and said casually, alright, since you say so, then let's not contact each other anymore. Ethan looked momentarily stunned. I glanced meaningfully at the girl beside him and smiled. What if your future girlfriend misunderstands me and clings to you? That wouldn't be good. If we're going to cut ties, then let's do it cleanly, Ethan sneered. Fine, just as you said, I won't see you off then. I turned around casually, and before closing the door, I heard a few friends curiously ask Ethan, after more than 20 years of friendship, you just let her walk away like that? Others responded, that's just Jenna's personality, she'll get over it after a while. The more she makes a fuss, the less fresh it feels, it even seems a bit cheap. Keep singing, don't mind her, maybe she'll come back soon. Ethan smiled wryly, I've seen this kind of trick many times, at most a week, she won't be able to resist coming back to me. Saying that, he kissed the girl beside him. Don't let her spoil the mood, let's keep playing. I looked down and smiled, tears falling as well. I returned to my apartment, and when entering the password, I instinctively typed Ethan's birthday. Realizing it, I changed the password without any hesitation. As soon as I entered the room, I felt suffocated again. On the bedside table was the perfume Ethan gave me, In the wardrobe were the lingerie he picked out for me a few days ago, the watch in the drawer, the lipstick on the vanity, even the mouthwash cup and toothbrush in the bathroom, all bore his presence. There was not a single place that didn't show Ethan's intrusion into my life. It was truly ridiculous. I found a trash can and stuffed all the things he gave me into it, then packed it up and threw it outside the door. Standing in the middle of the living room, I looked at the sofa with a frown. It was also a gift from Ethan. If he really was just a friend, I would be willing to call him my sugar daddy. I hugged him, kissed him, even gave him my heart. These benefits made me seem cheap. Hello, I need 2 workers to move a sofa. After moving all the furniture Ethan gave me out, I realized the house suddenly felt a bit empty. I casually planned to go with my best friend to the newly opened Furniture Experience Center downtown. Not only was the furniture exquisite, but they also served champagne. The 2 of us got a little tipsy and then walked to the back door to sober up. I had just lit a cigarette when I heard my best friend shouting, "Isn't that Ryan?" I frowned. Who? The guy from high school who confessed to you. I followed her gaze and saw only a fresh, handsome face. He's actually grown this good looking. Damn, he's looking over here. Do you think there's a chance you 2 might rekindle your past? I shook my head. He's 2 years younger than me. How is that possible? So what if he's younger? Younger guys are all the rage now. After being with an old man like Ethan for so many years, it's time to try something new. As we were talking, Ryan walked towards us. I crushed my cigarette and casually threw it into the trash bin. Sister Jenna, his clear black eyes were full of surprise. My best friend quickly asked, "Ryan, do you still remember me?" Ryan smiled, "Of course I do. You 2 were inseparable back in high school." My best friend hurriedly said, "What a coincidence, Jenna just got drunk. I'm busy going home to take care of my son and daughter, so I'll trouble you to take her home first." I pointed to my face in astonishment, and before I could say anything, Ryan quickly agreed, "Sure, I happen to be free right now." Sitting in Ryan's car, I was still a bit dazed. Meeting a familiar person without a topic to talk about is the most awkward. Fortunately, Ryan didn't say much and politely took me home. I just didn't expect that when we got out of the car, a sports car sped by and splashed mud all over him. I looked at him, soaked through, feeling somewhat helpless. "Come upstairs and take a shower." When he came out of the bathroom, Ryan's hair was wet, but it made his eyes look dark and bright. I quickly looked away. He wrapped a towel around his waist and sat beside me. We both looked at each other in silence, feeling a bit awkward. "Senior Jenna." "Just call me Jenna." "Jenna, sorry, the clothes might need a bit more time in the dryer." "It's okay." Then there was another awkward silence. After a moment of silence, he suddenly spoke, "I've been looking for you all these years. I thought you were married." Because Ethan and I always showed up to class reunions as a couple. He never hesitated to show affectionate gestures toward me in front of everyone, like lovers do, so the news that we were married had long spread in the class group chat. It was only natural that Ryan heard about it. Ethan never clarified the rumors and let them fester. At first, I was happy, thinking he would eventually accept my confession. But now, looking back, it was just wishful thinking on my part. I smiled and shook my head. "I'm not. I'm still single." When Ryan heard this, his body suddenly stiffened for a moment, then he asked, "Then can I pursue you?" The confession came too suddenly. I was stunned and didn't have time to respond. He said urgently, "I'm sincere. From the first year of high school until now, I've only ever liked you. Later, I went abroad. I thought I would never see you again in this lifetime. Fortunately, I can still meet you today." It's not false to say my heart fluttered, such a vibrant body stood before me, and his gaze was so tender. But I was afraid. Ethan looked at me like that back then too, but his love was fake. I'm afraid of wasting another 10 years of my youth. How many decades does a person have to waste? "Ryan, he took my hand and placed it on his chest, sincere and earnest. "You don't have to give me an answer right away. I can wait. No matter how long it takes, I'm willing to wait. Ryan is gone. In the darkness, I lit a cigarette, the crimson flame flickering with my breath. Can I really love someone again? I was lost in thought until the cigarette burned down to my fingers, causing a sting. Only then did I snap back, smiling as I put it out, tears already stinging the corners of my eyes. Actually, I didn't smoke at first. I still remember in my freshman year, Ethan told me that I was very important to him and that he would always be with me. The heart I had secretly loved for 3 years finally responded for the first time, so in a moment of excitement, I confessed to him. That was the first time I tasted the pain he caused me. He didn't reply to my message, so I eagerly went to his apartment to find him. But all I saw were women's clothes scattered all over the floor. Ethan lazily got up and lit a cigarette for the woman. The woman's eyes were seductive as she glanced at me. Is this your little girlfriend? Ethan sneered, what are you talking about? Aren't you my only girlfriend? She's my good brother. The woman laughed, you even have brothers who look this pure? Just a little girl, she doesn't understand anything. At that time, I thought Ethan found me not feminine enough, so I started learning to smoke. The first time, I was choked by the cigarette and coughed uncontrollably. After a while, I became numb to it, just like my feelings for Ethan. At first, being rejected kept me tossing and turning at night, but later I got used to it. Later on, Ethan finally noticed that I could smoke. He looked at me in surprise, and I skillfully lit a cigarette, smiling and said, what else can I do? I can't keep crying forever. He didn't ask any more questions, he knew how much I was hurting, but he didn't care. The next time I saw Ethan was 5 days later. Our parents were close, and when an elder had a birthday, my mom asked me to bring Ethan along. His phone was unreachable. Since I had plans with Ryan to pick out furniture today, I sent Ethan my location to pick me up, then went to his apartment to notify him. He opened the door, reeking of alcohol. When he saw me, he leaned against the doorframe and smiled condescendingly, here to confess again? You left so decisively that day, I thought you had some backbone. Now I see you've come crawling back. As soon as he said that, a burst of laughter came from his room. I knew Jenna wouldn't be able to help but lower her head first. Today seems to be the 4th day, Ethan was right, it really won't take a week. Ethan heard the teasing words, half smiling, half not. I held my breath, in his eyes, I was a pursuer he just couldn't shake off no matter what. I forced myself to ignore the mocking words and steady my trembling body. You're overthinking it. Your call didn't go through, and my mom told you to go to Aunt Wong's birthday. Ethan sighed, today is Aunt Wong's birthday, what's the excuse for tomorrow? I'm telling you, if you don't want to go, you just don't want to go. Why make up all these reasons? My body stiffened badly, he always knew exactly what words would hurt me the most. The message has been delivered, I'm leaving now. Ethan's face instantly darkened. Jenna, what do you mean? Are you still going to make a scene with me? I'm giving you a way out, but you won't take it. What exactly do you want? I held back my tears, forcing out a bitter laugh. Save your kindness for other girls. After saying that, I turned to leave. I was afraid if I didn't go now, the tears would flood out. I refused to cry in front of him, my pride wouldn't allow it. Ethan grabbed my wrist firmly, I didn't give you permission to leave, come in. Just as Ethan was about to pull me into the room, Ryan's voice came from the elevator entrance, Jenna. Ethan's expression instantly darkened. Who is he? Ethan's eyes were practically shooting fire. Ryan walked up beside me, stood still, and pulled my hand back. He calmly called out, long time no see, brother Ethan. Ryan's dark eyes stared unblinkingly into Ethan's. Ethan's eyes shifted from anger to confusion, and after realizing Ryan's identity, a trace of disdain appeared. He said coldly, I remember you, the kid who confessed to Jenna in high school. What, after all these years, you're still hung up on Jenna? But sorry, Jenna is mine now. Ryan tilted his head and smiled at me, Jenna, isn't that right? I pulled Ryan's hand and said to Ethan, Ethan, you were the one who said we were just friends, so why lie to Ryan now? Besides, I'm currently involved with Ryan, and I don't want your words to cause any misunderstandings for him. Ryan curled the corner of his mouth, a deep dimple forming on his right cheek. Upon hearing this, Ethan suddenly looked enlightened, gritting his teeth as he said, I was wondering why you left so decisively, turns out you found someone new. What, can he satisfy you, huh? Ryan's teeth clicked together sharply. Whether it's Jenna or me, none of that concerns you, after all, you're just an outsider now. Saying this, he sneered mockingly, the person you don't cherish, I'll cherish for you. What do you have to be angry about? This is all your own doing. Ethan's eyes were so furious it was like he was about to breathe fire. The people at the party saw the argument getting more and more intense, almost ready to come to blows, and hurried over to mediate. Ethan has had too much to drink, Jenna, don't take it to heart. Ethan stared at me intently. Jenna, I'll ask you one last time, are you going to leave with him today or not? He didn't know that at the birthday party that day, I had already decided to bury this fruitless relationship, but now, his attitude only made me more determined. I lowered my eyes and looked down at him from above. Ethan, we're just friends. Who I spend time with has nothing to do with you. The words he said to me that day were so piercing, and now I've returned them to him in full, not missing a single bit. I patted Ryan, let's go, we still have to go provoke the sofa. Ethan was stunned, his face full of disbelief. You threw away the sofa I gave you? I paused, that sofa never matched the style of my apartment's decor anyway, so why would I keep something that's an eyesore? After saying that, I walked away without looking back. At the elevator entrance, his friend's voice came through, Ethan, aren't you really going to chase after Jenna? Don't regret it later. Exactly, I think Jenna is just sulking now. If you go and coax her a bit, it'll definitely be fine. Ethan kicked over the trash can, his tone gloomy, I want to see who dares to go. Jenna's the one losing it, so why should I go crazy with her? How could she possibly like that brat named Ryan? He's just using me as a tool to argue with me. Once I stop paying attention to her, she'll realize she's wrong. Everyone disperse, stop persuading me. If anyone tries to persuade me again, I'll turn against them. Hearing this, I calmly pressed the elevator button. Ethan, you are still as arrogant as ever. Unfortunately, I'm no longer the Jenna who follows right behind you. Ryan, I'm tired. Let's go shopping next time. After getting off the elevator, I suddenly felt an overwhelming fatigue. I know I've completely given up, but seeing his face and hearing the sharp, cutting words he says still makes my chest feel unbearably tight. His breath, scent, voice, and tone invade me from all directions, constantly reminding me how ridiculous my wasted 10 years of youth have been. I'm so tired. Ryan thought for a moment, then suddenly said, Jenna, do you want to go bungee jumping? Ryan carefully tied the ropes around my waist and legs. Watching him handle it so skillfully, I couldn't help but ask, do you come here often? He smiled easily, I often come here when I'm in a bad mood. When you fall from a high place, it feels like all your troubles are left up there. Are you ready? I gave an awkward smile, yes, I'm ready. But my legs were shaking badly. He said seriously, really? You look terrible. If you're scared, you can just watch me play. I mustered up the courage to look down. It was fine before I looked, but the moment I did, my legs went weak. This scene was even scarier than seeing Ethan embracing and kissing someone else. The safety officer laughed beside me and said, don't be afraid, the rope is very tight and safe. We've never had anyone give a bad review. Then he burst out laughing. I was so scared by this cold joke that I dared not move, goosebumps rising wave after wave. But if, as Ryan said, after jumping down, all worries could be emptied at once, then maybe the confusing feelings I have for Ethan that keep me tossing and turning could also disappear. Ryan looked a bit worried. I gritted my teeth and made up my mind, jump. Ryan sighed helplessly, actually. My firm tone softened slightly, hurry, if you dawdle any longer, I'll regret it. My appearance amused Ryan. Okay, then I'll count to 3, and we'll jump together, alright? I was so nervous my teeth were chattering and I couldn't speak. 1, 2. Wait, hold on, count to 5 instead. Alright, 1, 2, 3. No, let's count to 10, Ryan said helplessly. Jenna, if we're going to jump, don't grip the railing with your fingers. No matter how scared I was, the final moment had to come. In an instant, my body fell from the height, and the whole world turned upside down. I held Ryan tightly, only he was the sole source of safety in this topsy-turvy world. It was clearly a terrifying ordeal, but holding him and listening to his steady, strong heartbeat made everything seem less frightening. I hung in the air, slowly opening my eyes. His handsome face appeared before me. Ryan. Don't be afraid, I'm here. When we returned to solid ground, my legs were still trembling, my scalp tingling in waves. After only a few steps, I staggered and fell, my hands weak, lacking even the strength to tie my shoelaces. Ryan smiled and helped me up. Was it fun? I held onto his sleeve, smiling awkwardly. It was fun. Still scared? Before falling, I was pretty scared, but once I really fell, I forgot everything. Ryan smiled and handed me a bottle of water, lowering his head to carefully tie my shoelaces. Some things are like that. You always think you can't do them, but after trying, you find it's actually quite simple. The hardest part is deciding whether to do it or not, whether to let go or hold on. I gripped the water bottle tightly. I actually understood what he meant. For Ethan, this decade-long relationship, I always thought I couldn't bear a life without him, but once I truly let go, it felt okay. Maybe from the very beginning, he wasn't that important to me. Maybe, I can try new feelings now. The blood chilled by the bungee jump slowly warmed up again, little by little at this moment. My hands and feet were tingling, and when I looked at Ryan, my head was also spinning. Ryan. What's up? He smiled and looked up. I grabbed the back of his head and kissed him deeply. This sofa is so special, it looks like a sheep. I let go of Ryan's hand and walked around this fluffy sofa once. Then, unable to resist, I sat down hard. My God, this is so soft. Ryan laughed and sat down next to me. This is the first piece from my graduation project. I'm a lazy person, I want to collapse after just a few steps. I was surprised. You designed this? He was even more surprised than I was. This experience center is under my company. Most of the furniture here was designed by me. We stared at each other wide-eyed. He sighed deeply. You really don't pay any attention to me at all. Back in high school, my dad even donated a building to the school. Can't you see the big letters, Arwood Industry? At that time, I was completely focused on following Ethan and didn't pay any attention to his stuff. What rich guy beggar. I didn't take it to heart at all. My memory of Ryan was still that handsome, somewhat overly charming little boy. My eyes sparkled. So, does that mean I can get a discount on anything I buy? Ryan smiled indulgently. Forget discounts, I'll even give you the whole experience center. I jumped up joyfully, touching this and that, unable to put any of them down. People often say, joy turns to sorrow. I hadn't been happy for long before I saw Ethan around the corner. The girl by his side had changed again. It was no longer the delicate and pretty girl from the last KTV. Instead, it was a hot and confident woman. When I used to like him, I even thought about winning his favor by dressing the way he liked. Later, I realized he wasn't picky. If she was beautiful, he wanted her. He was literally a teddy bear incarnate. I can't even remember what I used to like about him. Ethan stared straight at me. You've been pretty happy lately, haven't you? I've never seen you smile like this in front of me. He said it casually, but every time I saw him, he was hitting on beautiful women. I still remember one time, he got drunk and called me late at night to pick him up. Even though I got off work at 11 that day and had to get up early the next morning, I still drove to the bar to find him. I sent him a WeChat message, and he always replied, "Wait a moment, coming right away." So I foolishly waited in the cold wind for over an hour. Then I received a call from his friend, telling me that Ethan had already left with a girl from the bar. The next day, he bought me that sofa as an apology, saying, "We're good brothers, don't hold grudges, don't be mad, Jenna. I'll take you out for drinks tonight." How can he expect me to be happy again? In front of him, I can only be an emotionless robot. Forced to accept his good and bad without showing any reaction, only with Ryan did I realize that I could actually be this lively. I couldn't help but sneer. The beautiful woman beside him looked at us both curiously. "Ethan, who is she?" Ethan said nothing, but I curled my lips and said, "Just a friend, don't get the wrong idea." Ethan frowned. "Jenna, do you really want me to kowtow and admit my mistake before you'll stop?" I sneered, "Isn't that what you said? Good friends, good brothers. What are you angry about now?" "Fine, you want to make a scene, huh? Let's see how long you can keep up that stubbornness." Saying that, he grabbed the woman's hand and walked away without looking back. Watching their backs, I found it amusing. This drama of love and hate finally had only him left performing a one-man show. No smoking allowed. Ryan took the cigarette from my hand, spun around on the spot looking for an ashtray but couldn't find one, looking somewhat comical. I laughed and snatched the cigarette from his hand. "The last one, I promise it's the last one." He was wearing an apron, looking helpless. "Smoking is bad for your health." Okay, it really is the last one." Seeing me take a big drag, his expression grew a bit complicated. "Sisters are such strange creatures, cigarettes aren't good for you, is it really necessary?" I smiled and raised an eyebrow. "What, regret dating me now?" Ryan lounged casually on the sofa. "What would I regret? If you died of cancer, I could find someone young and pretty." I twisted him hard. "Then go find one now." He rested his head on my knee, rubbed around in a circle, and when he looked up at me from below, his eyes were bright. "I'm not looking for anyone else. No one is better than you. Even if you're 70 or 80 now, with snow-white hair, I still think you're the best." My heart softened again. "Then why do you say such silly things?" He pouted, looking childish. "I want you to quit smoking. When I was abroad, I dared to do all kinds of extreme sports. Like skydiving, parkour, I never feared what death was. I always felt that in this life, you have to live it brilliantly, do whatever makes you happy. Life is short, living in the moment is what matters. But since I've been with you, I want to live a little longer, a bit longer. I'm afraid you'll leave me first, and I'm also afraid I'll leave you first. I always imagine that after we become an old couple, we can still walk hand in hand in the park." My ears flushed halfway. "You." He pinched one of my fingers, kissed it gently, then looked at me with eyes glistening like tears, full of emotion. "Jenna, please stop smoking, okay?" My voice hoarse. "Okay." He jumped up suddenly, looking like he had just pulled off a trick. "Your best friend was right, you really fall for this." I couldn't help but flick his forehead. "I knew you were lying to me." He put away his playful grin, placed my hand on his chest, just like that night when I invited him up. My heartbeat pulsed again and again into my palm. "Jenna, I'm sincere." After a long silence, I finally heard my own trembling voice. "Okay." I finally finished the last cigarette and extinguished it in the water. With a hiss, the cigarette's ember completely went out. Ethan, the last bit of connection between us, was finally gone. If it weren't for Ethan's call, I would have completely forgotten that it had been 3 months since I last thought of him. "Jenna, phone." I was stuck playing a game and couldn't get away. "Can you answer it for me?" Ryan helped me tap the screen. "Why did it take so long to pick up?" I said instinctively. "Who is this?" The other side took a deep breath and replied, "Jenna, is it fun pretending not to know me?" I focused on the game screen, too lazy to waste words on him. "Oh, it's you. What do you want?" Ethan said in a low voice. "What have you been up to lately? Why haven't you come to see me?" Before I could think of a perfunctory excuse, Ryan spoke first. "She's busy getting engaged to me. Come by for the wedding if you have time." There was silence on the other end. After a long while, I finally heard that gritted teeth voice. "I'm talking to Jenna, who do you think you are? Give the phone to Jenna." I smiled. I was the one who told him to answer. If you have nothing to say, I'll hang up. We're both pretty busy. Jenna. Ethan stopped me from hanging up. Jenna said she doesn't have time for you, don't make a fool of yourself. Hearing his voice, Ethan got even angrier. Did I ask you, Ryan? You don't really think Jenna likes you, do you? I'll tell you, she pursued me for 10 years. Didn't you confess to her in high school and get rejected? That's because she likes me. You're nothing but a tool she uses to transfer her feelings away from me. And you, Jenna, do you find it fun to play these schemes and tricks every day? I know exactly what kind of person you are. You just want to use Ryan to make me jealous and get my attention. When you're done playing, just get back to me. Ryan's fists were cracking as he clenched them, but I calmly took the phone from his hand. Ethan, you want me to be honest, right? The truth is, whenever I see you now, I feel disgusted. Ethan and I have a friendship that goes back to our childhood. Our parents have been close friends for generations, and since we were toddlers, we've been inseparable. He is only a few months older than me, yet he always acts like the older brother. Whenever there's good food or drinks, he's the first to bring them to me. If I ever did something wrong, he would always take the blame for me. I still remember when I was a kid and got too playful, falling into the water. Without hesitation, he jumped into that bottomless pool and pulled me out. We both came home soaking wet, and I was trembling with fear, worried about being scolded by our parents. Ethan stepped forward and said it was all because he forced me to go. Days passed like this, one by one, and we slowly grew up. But his kindness to me did not diminish in the slightest. Later, we tacitly held hands and kissed. To outsiders, we looked like a couple. Even our parents thought it was only a matter of time before we got married, and I thought so too. The year we graduated, we attended a friend's wedding. He caught the bride's bouquet, a symbol of love, and then handed it to me in front of everyone. At that time, his eyes were so focused and gentle, as if the whole world only had the two of us left. However, on the day of the fourth confession, he rejected me again. After I gave him the cold shoulder for a few days, he sent me a WeChat message to make up, saying he wanted to eat the noodles I made. However, when I made his favorite noodles and went to find him, the door was opened by a stranger woman. At that moment, all the joy completely cooled down. "Hello, your takeout has arrived," she said. After that sentence, I turned around and fled. The woman, wearing a semi-transparent nightgown, called into the inner room, "Ethan, did you order takeout?" Ethan had just finished showering, his hair still wet, and his lazy voice came through, "No, did you order it?" Seeing no one at the door, Ethan snapped back to reality, instantly chasing out and grabbing me just as I was about to enter the elevator. His eyes narrowed. "Why are you here?" I said calmly, "Delivering takeout." What he didn't know was that at this moment, my nails were already digging deep into my flesh. "Let's talk after you come in." In the middle of the night, he ignored the others and pulled me inside. He ate the noodles with satisfaction. "Not bad, your cooking still suits my taste best." I watched him eat for a while before he hoarsely spoke, "Ethan, you." Before he could finish, he was interrupted. "Come, let me introduce you. This is Jenna, a good friend I grew up with. I've always treated her like a sister, and from now on, she's your sister too. Come on, Jenna, this is Maggie, quickly call her sister-in-law." The woman's face was covered with a blush, and she politely nodded at me, while I felt as if I had fallen into an ice cellar, struggling to speak. "Sister-in-law, hello." Even so, I still wasn't willing to give up. I couldn't believe that our more than 20 years of acquaintance, my 10 years of unrequited love, would lose to a woman I had just met. Someone said that a person's heart can only endure sadness 7 times, so Ethan, this is my last confession. I bought large bouquets of fresh flowers and made my 7th confession on his birthday, but as always, he crushed my self-esteem completely. Ethan is very good to me, willing to give me everything. He buys me the best clothes and spends the most money. When I'm sick, he takes care of me day and night. But the one thing he's never given me is his heart. I stepped out of my memories and smiled softly. we've known each other for so many years, so I won't bother with pleasantries. I'm getting engaged now, and as my brother, you must come and have a drink with me then. My mom was shocked when she heard that I was not dating Ethan but was engaged to Ryan, but after meeting Ryan, she was overjoyed. Alright, this young man is also very good, but what matters most is that you like him. Ethan's mom also came to persuade me several times, but I politely declined each time. The engagement party went smoothly, and I met Ryan's parents. His mom liked me very much as soon as she saw me. This is the girl you liked in high school, right? I saw that your phone wallpaper has always been her. Ryan blushed and said, Mom, why are you saying this? But I felt extremely happy and chatted a lot with Ryan's mom about Ryan's childhood stories. After the engagement, our wedding was getting closer and closer. Does this wedding dress look good? Ryan was stunned, his eyes slightly reddening. Why are you crying? He shyly wiped his tears. I didn't expect that I could really marry you. My heart melted instantly. Jenna, have you really decided on me? I knew that after being with him, he always felt insecure. After all, Ethan and I had a relationship spanning over 10 years, and outsiders would think I couldn't let go. But it was only after being with Ryan that I understood what true love really means. I am happy every single day. I grabbed his hand and pressed my forehead against his. Yes, I only want you, no one can take me away. The wedding was grand. Ryan's father rented a large castle. I rode in slowly on a white horse, and Ryan stood in the center of the stage waiting for me. I always thought I was afraid of getting married, but if the person standing on the stage is him, then everything is fine. Halfway through the wedding, the door to the venue suddenly opened, and everyone's attention was drawn to this unexpected turn of events. Ethan appeared, his left leg wrapped in bandages, limping as he walked in. I had heard that not long ago, after our phone call, he accidentally fell from upstairs. I thought it was a joke, but it turned out to be true. His gaze passed over the crowd and fixed directly on me. Jenna, I agree to date you. The crowd erupted in a commotion. Ryan nervously squeezed my hand. I said calmly, if you're here to congratulate me today, then please take a seat and have a glass of wedding wine. If you have other intentions today, then please get out. Ethan's voice trembled. You don't like Ryan at all, so why ruin your own marriage just to spite me? I will be good to you. I won't have contact with other women anymore. I belong to you only. Please come back. His confession came too late. To me, it was like a bowl of cold porridge. Ethan, I admit that I once liked you very much. So during the days right after we broke up, I also struggled in pain. Later, I realized that the reason I felt so painful was because I was not only saying goodbye to you, but also saying goodbye to my past self. I have abandoned all my past feelings, love, grievances, hatred, sadness, one by one. That's why I feel pain. Now I finally understand that actually, when I first confessed to you and was rejected, I had already stopped loving you. What followed was just my unwillingness to accept it, my reluctance to let go of these more than 10 years of feelings. What I couldn't let go of was always my own youth, not you. After meeting Ryan, I finally understood what it feels like to love someone. You've been out of the game with me for a long time. With every word I said, the color drained further from Ethan's face. Maybe now he finally understands that I'm not sulking or having a quarrel with him. I really want to break up with him. It took Ethan a long time to come to his senses, his voice hoarse. Jenna, you say it so easily, but can you really forget? How much do you really know about Ryan, and how much does he know about you? Do you really think he will only revolve around you? You're still young and beautiful now, but after all, you're 2 years older than him. When you grow old, will he still love you this much? What I do will play out on him in the same way. You've just wasted your youth once again. By the end, he was already speaking without thinking. Though he was usually a playboy, he was still a rich kid and had never behaved so disgracefully before. Now he looked utterly ugly. Fortunately, with Ryan by my side, these words no longer hurt me. Ryan spoke. Ethan, I used to think you were just a bit unfaithful and that Jenna suffered a lot because of it. Now I realize, you're even more of a beast than an animal. You think you're playing the role of a passionate movie leading man, but actually, it only makes Jenna and me despise you even more. Ethan couldn't hold back anymore. He shouted, "Where do you think your superiority gets you, Jenna, following me around for over 20 years? She's just a pile of trash I didn't want, and you're so happy picking up what I discarded." Ha 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 ha, Ryan, you're the funniest one here. Before he could finish, I quickly grabbed a glass of wine and threw it hard in Ethan's face. Ethan looked at me in disbelief. "You poured it on me for him, Jenna. Do you really not want me anymore? I'm asking you one last time, are you determined to marry Ryan today?" Actually, when he stepped into this hall today, he already knew that what was done, but he still wanted to make one last struggle. Just like that day when I made my final confession to him, my feelings, he finally empathized with at this moment. Ryan was afraid he would lay a hand on me, so he hurriedly stood in front of me to protect me. However, after Ethan clenched his fist, he loosened it again. He stood there dazed, his face ashen. In the end, when the security guards dragged him out, he didn't even struggle. Ryan let out a long breath and smiled. "Why is it always the knight protecting the princess? What if you get hurt? What then?" I smiled. "The princess doesn't always have to be delicate, sometimes she can protect the knight too." He said I could, but said you couldn't. Ryan took my hand. "Don't be so impulsive from now on. If anything happens, let me handle it." "But," I kept his face, "I just want to do this for you." He has never been a substitute for my relationship with Ethan. He is my salvation, my harbor. He is the person I want to be with forever in this life, and I won't allow anyone to insult or scold him because of me. He is my whole world. Ryan's dark, deep pupils trembled, and finally, he gently placed a kiss on my forehead. "I haven't seen you smoke in a long time." "I quit a while ago. My husband said it's bad for my health. My best friend brought a wedding gift and just wouldn't leave Ryan and me in our new home." Yo yo yo. You didn't mention Ethan this often when you were with him. Hearing that name again, I still felt a bit dazed. I sipped my drink, smiled softly, and didn't respond. "By the way, did you know? After Ethan attended your wedding that day, he seemed completely out of it and locked himself in his room for several months, refusing to listen to anyone. His mother even thought he was possessed and went to the temple to offer a lot of incense money to ward off the bad luck for him. Later, a heavily pregnant woman came to see him, but Ethan just gave her a cold look and ignored her. TSK. Luckily you didn't end up with him back then, or who knows what might have happened. I think, marrying someone else would be a huge blow to him. He wouldn't get over it for years," I said with a smile, shaking my head. "His matters bore me just listening to them, better not mention them anymore. It's not that I can't let go, not that I can't bear to, it's that I truly don't care anymore. Once bitten by a dog, you only feel disgusted, there's no desire to know about the culprit anymore." My bestie stayed here all day, insisting on soaking up the newbie's good luck so she could have a beautiful relationship too. Ryan was a bit jealous that she took up my whole day. "You already have kids, what more do you need a good relationship for? Go home, coming here every day." My bestie pouted at him. "You little brat, I was the one who set you two up in the first place, and now you just burn bridges. Watch out, I might just take Jenna to meet a new guy, and then you'll be the one crying." Ryan snapped. "No way, she loves me the most." My bestie snapped back. "Nonsense, she loves me the most. I'm too lazy to argue with you, I'm going home to feed the baby." The two of them were bickering like kids, exchanging words back and forth at the door. At night, Ryan shyly changed into his pajamas. I closed my book and smiled. "What are you doing?" He blushed and threw himself next to me. "Your bestie already has a kid, we should work hard too." I helplessly rubbed my forehead. "She's just a dog and a cat, only you believe her." Ryan laughed. "I don't care, I want to raise the real ones." Saying that, he kissed me deeply. Fingers intertwined, the moonlight outside was just right.